Okay.
Right, I think we can get started. Yeah, you guys, welcome to yet another episode of the podcast, the M to Stands podcast. My name is Reward, your host as usual, and today I'm here with my friend Richie. He's you're not new on the show, so I don't know what welcome to give you. But welcome to the show. How's it going?
No problem, no problem. Nice to be back. I think this is my second time, right? Or third.
Probably third, I
I
think
think.
third.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, good to be back. Good to be back on a time where I'm doing well. Last year was horrible, so it's good to be back.
yeah. I was going to say that. Yeah, this is a great time to have you. Seems you're like on a roll. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
hear those insights. So let's quickly take a dive into game week 8, the game week that never was for some of us. Um, I was down my own team. I had a measly 33 points. Well, I was above average, so I don't think I can complain too much. But yeah, I had a blinder of a game week. I sold Salah and Watkins, who both scored, and
Mm.
then I got Haaland finally, and yeah, he blanked. So sorry, guys. I think I jinxed him, but it's fine. Yes, I got Haaland and Johnson, who both blanked somehow. And yeah, I finished up with 33 points. I'll just read through my team so you guys can, for our listeners on the pod, Flecken and goal with 4 points, Trent with 2 points, Gabriel 1 point, um, Rico Lewis with 2 points. Rogers, he keeps impressing. Like he's been very consistent lately with
Yeah.
6 points. Johnson, who I got in, somehow managed to blank when Spurs got four. I don't know
It
how
was
that.
coming. I think that one was coming, right? Like the blank was coming.
Yeah, he was dear blank. I mean, he had been like five consecutive, or was it seven? I think it was seven consecutive.
Across
Yeah,
different.
all competitions. Yeah,
Yeah.
7 games. So well, he finally blanked. I jinxed him as well. Bournemouth 2 points. I didn't see that coming. I don't know how United won that, but they did.
We're due for a win. Relax. I like everyone. Did everyone expect United to just lose every game? Like, come on, man.
No, okay.
Yeah, we're due for a win. I think. We're,
Samuel came on for Saka, who I had, who Jerry deceived me to keep in. So I kept Saka. He blanked. So no, he didn't even come on. He wasn't. He was injured. He wasn't in the team. So Samuel came in for him with 2 points. Vardy. I was this close to selling Vardy, but I've kept him because I had other fires to take care of. But came through with 6 points.
oh, that's nice.
Havertz, too, I really need to get rid of him. And Captain Haaland with 4 points. So that was my team. Not too much to complain about because, yeah, in hindsight, that's exactly the moves I planned to make. So, yeah, while it's painful, but yeah, that's how it goes. So, you had a green arrow. Talk to us about your
Yeah,
your
I think just looking at my team, I think this all I could go back to my wild card. I went with Sales instead of Raya, and I just felt like Nuno Espirito Santos. They've started the league well. They are defensive, very good defensively.
Yep.
You watch their game against Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea probably not a good game for their defense because they considered a lot of chances. They could have been down 2-3 and they could have scored two. But I went with Sales in my goal. I returned 11 points that saved my my game week really. Lewis 2 points. I think Man City always concedes. I
Hmm.
kept TAA. Returned 2 points. Gabriel 1 point. That was a shocking 1 point because they were away to Bournemouth and the red card didn't help there. Semenyo came on for Greaves. I don't know why I started Greaves instead of Mikolenko, who is number 2 on my bench.
Yep.
So instead of Mikolenko coming on for Greaves, Semenyo came on and delivered a 2-pointer. Smith Rowe, I think he's going to be leaving my team this week, I believe. With a 1-pointer, Mbuemo with a 2. I think he was due. I think Mbuemo is a long-term hold. Excuse me,
Yep.
long-term hold
Yeah.
because his next couple of games are good, especially the next one with Ipswich. So hopefully, Mbuemo is a tricky one. We can talk about it later, but I kept Salah because I felt Saka wasn't going to play because of what I was seeing on Twitter and the news of his hamstring.
Why,
Because if
why do I think you're part of the FBL cartel?
I wish I was. I don't think there's an FPL cartel, just so you know. There's no opinion. I don't think there's an FPL cartel. I think
Anybody that sold Saka for
felt
some
like there's an FPL cartel.
part
But I
of
do think that if I had made my substitution early in the week, I would have sold Salah, sorry.
yeah,
So I think it was just that one of those things where you overthink it and then it turns out to be right.
yep,
Because I thought it and I did my sub like the night before the morning, I think. Um, yeah, Solanke, that he's playing defensive attack for Spurs. We returned 2 points. Haaland 4 points. I don't think you jinxed Haaland. I think that if you've been looking at the past 2-3 games, you can't even say you jinxed him because it's not like he was returning.
yep,
And then Wood, one of my transfers too from the wild card, returned 7 points. So that gave me a green arrow because I went 3 points past my safety score there and totaled for the 6 points. So it was a good week. I think the Monday anxiety
yeah,
paid off. The clean sheet and the goal from Wood was spectacular. So
yeah. And you're up to 168K. That's amazing.
Uh, yeah, I'm anxious about that because it's very, very early in the week or very early in the FPL. So, hopefully it continues. I think I've been I've been riding my luck pretty well this time
Awesome.
around.
Well, keep your eyes wide open because we're coming. We're coming for you.
I know you had me, you thought you had me, but I pulled away with
I jinxed myself, but it's okay. We go again this week. So just a couple highlights from game week 8. We saw it give us the lowest average points score this season of 36.
That's
Oh,
insane.
that means I was below average. Sorry about that. Wow. Okay. I thought I was above average. Well, so we broke game week 8 broke the game week 7 record. Too bad. And then we saw Haaland with his third consecutive blank and an XG of 0. I also had 0 shots against Wolves.
Mhm.
I think we should be worried, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. And a couple of teams had high XGs. So let's take a look at the teams with the highest XGs in game week 8. They're weird teams: Leicester, Southampton, Newcastle, Fulham, and Everton.
Wow.
Uh, I didn't see this coming, but yeah.
So do we want to go discuss each line or
I
with
mean,
the Haaland?
yeah, we could. Yeah, we
Yeah,
could.
with the Haaland thing, that's why I'm just gonna bring in the triple captain option that everybody's seem to be leaning towards. I think that it's almost like one of those things where you have to wait and see. I
Yeah,
know Southampton is a bad side. I know that they're not doing too well, but three consecutive blank is significant, at least for Haaland, especially in the Premier League. I mean, he was so happy to score in Champions League. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of like something that we should watch. You can captain him this week, but I think triple captain is it's taking a risk, even though it's Haaland versus Southampton and they
mm,
are home. So and Southampton is one of those sides that like to hold the ball. They pass around. I don't know if they're going to play the
I think
same
they're
way.
like a sit back and wait team. I mean, they have to definitely change something playing against City,
Right,
but
but the coach said he's never gonna like again. The coach has said he's never gonna change. They I think for the first 4 or 5 games they were 65% possession. So
yeah,
does that hurt Haaland because he's not a necessarily a counter-attacking striker?
yeah,
So yeah, that Southampton game is a bit tricky. The one I'm most interested in is Ipswich at home. Because they want to play outside from the back. They want to do all those.
mistakes trying to
Now
do.
we into a
Yeah.
lot of mistakes. Yeah, so
Hmm. Well, I'm still 50-50. I don't know yet, so but we'll see. Let's take a look at the teams that have considered the most shots. We have Brentford, West Ham, yeah, Wolves, Brighton, and Forest. I think it's interesting that Brighton and Forest, despite winning their games 1-0, considered like a fair amount of shots. So
I
goes to tell.
don't know if that is luck because again we talked about the Chelsea game versus Forest.
Yeah.
Like they considered a lot of
Charles
shots.
was amazing as well
He
in
was
detail. I think in the Chelsea game, he
he's
saved
he's
seven.
amazing.
Yeah, he had
He's
like
one of the
seven.
best goalkeepers in the game. I think.
I agree. Yeah,
Um, Brentford, I think they've been horrible away from home. That's why.
yep,
Um, West Ham, which is terrible, terrible coaching, in my opinion. I don't know what they're trying to do.
yeah,
You cannot see what they're trying to do. I think that's why I blame the coaching, not the players, because you just cannot see what they're
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
build or trying to do on the pitch. Wolves, I think Wolves is one of those teams that's just been unlucky. Tough run of fixtures,
Well,
and
really
then
good against City. I didn't see that coming. They're
yeah,
really good. Yeah,
tough run of fixtures, and then just terrible, terrible luck. I think they considered, late winners. Against Arsenal, they played well. They could have
yeah,
tied that game, and Lariah was spectacular that game.
yeah,
Brighton, maybe a high line issue and the way they play, and they make a lot of mistakes playing from the back as well. And they're pretty open, like Spurs. I'm surprised to not see Spurs here. They're pretty open. But maybe Brighton is like, or Spurs is like Brighton with better players, I guess. Maybe that's why.
yeah.
And then we got Forest. Um, I
And
don't
then,
think I don't think there's any surprises there, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. Still in that, like, no surprises. Garnacho had the most shots. I mean, he was just shooting for fun. um, 8 shots. Kudus as well. He had a really good game, but he had to ruin it with his
Yeah.
Ghanaian.
That's what
Ghanaian.
I'm saying. I don't know what like it just seems like the coach just like go there and play. Like it's like a five-a-side
Mhm.
church Sunday league a
West
team
Ham
is
would definitely be a team to target because, yeah.
I see this is just a side topic. I see Mourinho probably going there. I don't know why.
Really? Hmm.
Because he's been talking about coming back to the Premier League, talking about coaching a lower tier team that doesn't have Champions League. I don't know. I just feel like again he doesn't seem to like it there in Turkey.
Yeah.
Understandable, but that could something to keep our eye on. But one game I didn't watch this weekend or last weekend was the Brighton Newcastle game. So I still haven't watched the highlights for some reason. Um,
I don't think there was anything that there was nothing there really.
Well, I mean, Isak with 7 shots. That I mean, he's back. That's one, and then two.
Yeah,
Seven.
but maybe he's still feeling his way around it because typically he's very clinical. So it's surprising to see.
Yeah,
Maybe he's not fully fit. So yeah, Easy. I don't know. That guy
unlucky.
flatters to deceive. Honestly.
Yeah, him and Semenyo are similar, so it's good that they are.
DCL. I feel so bad for people. I feel so sorry for people who went to DCL. The guy just can't finish. He can't. Like almost every game, he has like 1v1s and he misses them.
Really? Did he have one-on-ones this
Yeah,
this?
yeah, and he missed them again. His
Oh,
he
wow.
just can't finish. I don't know what it is, but nah, DCL isn't. I mean, and for people who have him, I don't think you're selling because they still have like a good
They
fixture
have
run.
good fixtures. They have
Yeah,
good fixtures. I think McNeil might be the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even the other striker in DIA or something. Yeah, he's been the one scoring, but somehow DCL just can't score. I don't know.
But he's
Uh,
on penalties though, so
he-
I think they get
I don't
penalty.
think it's allowed this guy to take any PKs. He'll definitely miss.
He does score penalties. He scores penalties for sure.
With the form he's on, I think he'll miss. So just avoid DCL. Another point is since entering the starting lineup in Game Week 4, Raul Jiminez has just been brilliant. 4 goals and 1 assist. He
Yeah,
hasn't done the last
he's been
5.
spectacular. He's
His
because I was I think 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago I was at Uche's and he was like, I'm bringing in Jimenez. I'm like, what? They have Man City here. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, so he's one of those people that got in early, and I think
yeah,
to me, right now, I haven't looked at the fixtures, but I
they're
think
quite good. They're quite
I
good for
think
like the next 3 or 4. You could even extend it to like 6. They're really good. I really don't mind bringing him in because he's like a cheap forward, a cheap budget forward alternative, so you can get all the premium midfielders in it. He's a really
so.
good.
You don't think that it's late?
The thing with FPL is once you see someone on form, you either jump in and catch it or just keep thinking with the bias that you feel like it's late and you just miss it.
Yeah,
Remember,
because
remember,
him.
remember my last season when he started and everyone was like, "Oh, this will definitely dry down," but it never did.
Who?
Jimenez reminds me of his Wolves form when he started. He looks
Yeah,
like.
but except you think he's going to score 15 goals this
But
year.
then again, what do you expect from a 5.5 million asset?
Yeah, I
Really,
hear you.
what do you need from him, really?
And it seems like he's going to be on penalties too, because
Yeah. So I mean, what's the?
Pereira,
We're not
Mares.
expecting him to score a brace every game. No, just the odd goal here and there. I feel like that's sufficient for
It's
his
not bad. I
price.
think I'll keep Wood, but he's a good shout for sure.
Okay. Well, Salah is back at the top of the scoring charts or the points charts this season. Another double-digit haul.
Yeah,
Kudos to you guys who kept faith. Interesting.
the biggest Super Sunday player,
Yep.
one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
Yep. Saliba is set to miss Liverpool with his one-match ban.
You know what? At the beginning of the season, I had Saliba instead of Gabriel. So when I did my wild card, I mean, looking back now, I felt like my wild card was just almost perfect because I sold Saliba for Gabriel, so
Mhm.
that would have come back to bite me for
There
sure.
are a couple of people who have to double up Saliba and Gabriel, so too bad.
Yeah, their defense has been poor this year. I know.
people people think Arsenal are that defensive. I remember when we had this argument, right?
Yeah,
Do
we
you
did.
know that Arsenal have considered one more goal than Spurs? Does that
It's,
shock you?
it's insane. I'm disappointed that for some reason I don't know. Even before Odegaard and Saka went down, the defense just leave a lot to be desired. To be honest, it's shocking. Like, and they got good. They added more defensive
Yeah,
help
they
too.
did
So
was by defenders, so I don't know what's well.
yeah,
Injuries haven't been kind to them. They've also been getting red cards, but whose fault is that? Yeah, there are
yeah.
a couple of injuries. Grealish has been rolled out by Pep for 7 to 10 days. Doku out for longer. I don't know what that means, but yeah. And if that means Foden starts, who knows? Nobody knows. But make of that whatever you wish.
If we just see KDB,
Right.
I won't be surprised honestly.
Now, I don't think KDB is ready yet, but yeah, but he's close. Calafiori also was forced off on Tuesday in the Champions League. He'll undergo a scan. Son was missing in training and also missed like the Europa League games, but I think he'll be fine. Yeah, just a couple injuries that we should look out for. There's also something to mention. There are a couple of guys who are like one yellow card or two away from a ban. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Nuri is one of them. So
Nori, I think Jackson is in there.
yeah,
I think a couple of Chelsea players are in there, even though some of
yep,
them.
beware
Um,
guys. And
um,
then you already said you're in part of the cartel, so Maybe I
there is no there is no FPL cartel,
maybe
please.
I believe you. Just maybe.
That's ridiculous.
Anyways, we've had a couple of, I don't know if I can call them knee-jerk people, but of course, Saka is top of that chat. But in typical fashion, don't be surprised to see Saka play. Like,
I think he's going to play.
yeah,
I do. I think he's going to
it's
play.
their toughest game of the season yet. There's no way Saka is missing that game. So I won't be surprised if I see Odegaard as well. So beware. Saliba
It
is
would be interesting throwing two of them into a very, very high intensity game like that.
what
But
options does he have? He really does with Sterling.
he really doesn't have an option. But he could start whoever he starts and bring them on halftime or whatever. But we'll see, because that could easily just aggravate an injury, and you're out for a longer period of time. What I would say about this is, Guardiola is, or Guardiola, or
Vardiol. The
Guardiola
Jesus
is someone that I wanted to bring in during my wild card instead of Lewis, and now he's just scored back to back. Like, it's like, oh, come on, man.
problem is all their defenders are fit. They're back fit. Knowing Pep,
I
he
think
can.
Lewis sits out this week.
Yeah, someone we really want might
Oh
sit
my
this out.
god.
So I'm just.
Ake, I see like Diaz, Stones, maybe Ake,
There's a Kanji somewhere who hasn't played in a while.
and yeah, I see Lewis sitting out this
I,
week for sure.
I'll just avoid cities. I mean,
I'm going to bench him. Just to. I'm going to. We'll talk about transfers later, but I think I might bench Lewis
yeah,
for sure.
cool. Moving on. So let's talk about Haaland. What do you think? I know you already gave like a
A little soliloquy
yeah.
about Haaland.
Let's dive deep into Haaland. What's going on here?
I think, I don't know. I tagged you on something on Twitter by I think it was Cam, and he to me he explained it perfectly. It's like, it's the way teams set up playing City. It's always different, because they overload the box. You have to almost score from like a set piece or like outside the box. They've scored 7 goals from outside the box this season, which is the highest. And when there's no KDB or Folding trying to break those, tight
Blocks. Yeah.
defenses with intelligent passes, then it becomes hard. Or when there's no Rodri just running the midfield, so it becomes hard. So I think in one of the games KDB didn't play, he scored a hat trick, or
Yeah.
he scored two. So I
Ipswich.
can't really, yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons. I think it's the setup. If a good coach, if they get a good coach, the setup changes. That's why I think I rate O'Neill. The Wolves coach is a very, very good coach. It's just it's heartbreaking what's happening to them. Really, again,
Yeah.
I think they're
Well, I
going to
mean,
be.
fixtures haven't been kind to them, so
Yeah.
yeah.
They played Liverpool, Arsenal,
They
and Man
played
City.
every top 16 they played them.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and they played a Brentford side at home that's firing from us.
The winner from City was, I mean, we can say all we want, but
Sad, right?
that
So for Haaland, I think that's why I want to really watch what Russell, is it Russell Martin, the Southampton coach.
no,
I want to watch what he does and how he sets up, because I remember when they played United and they bossed us in the first 20, 30 minutes.
yeah,
They had a penalty, right, which
he
changed
lost.
around
Yeah,
the game, right? Onana saved that. So
yeah,
I think when they get a good coach, it's just hard to break without the right players. And then same thing in Newcastle. It happened with Newcastle. I think Newcastle was one of the blanks, right?
mhm,
Whenever they get a good coach that's like, it's not gonna try to outplay or outsmart Pep,
yeah,
right? Or try to, because Pep is one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's going to outcoach you, right? Or 80, 90% of the time. So when you get a good coach that is very conservative, like it's like, we're just gonna play like Oli ball, right? Oli gonna switch that like we're gonna be very compact and catch you on the
Was
counter
you fine. Yeah,
good win. And that's how we won the FA Cup, right? Man
yeah,
United.
yeah,
It's like ball over the top to Rashford and Garnacho.
yeah.
Guardiola made a mistake, and that's it. That was game, right? So I think it's just you just have to watch again. It's still a hold, but he's very, very expensive.
Yep.
And I think we're talking about some like Palmer, Kunha or Palmer,
Jiminez. Yeah.
Jimenez. Like they're probably going to score more than Haaland, but the
Even
problem,
Watkins. I've had Watkins for like
right? And
longest
he's
time.
yeah.
He's been doing his. I mean, he hasn't blanked.
Watkins, I think Watkins is down for 20 goals this year. That one,
Yeah.
I think that one is a standard. So I think they're good. What I'm going to say is they're going to outscore Haaland for the most part. But the problem is
When
when
he.
you have two players, who do you captain? That's why it's like just Haaland is like an easy captain to just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
every 80%, 70% is going to captain Haaland. So if you captain him, nothing changes, and if you don't, a lot happens, a lot changes. So that's the tricky thing. It's not just having other players to replace Haaland. It's like, well, you
Yeah.
can't just captain Jiminez. You
No,
you
of
can't,
course not. But then
right?
having Jimenez allows you get like the other premiums, like your Palma, your Saka, your Salah, your Son, right?
Yeah, but you have to be careful about those too, right? Because those are like one in 3-4 game haul, maybe an assist here or there in between. Like a Son. Son will give you like a game where he has 2 goals
Yep.
and one assist, maybe like one every 5 games.
True.
Palmer is going to do the same, and everybody's going to go crazy. This is
Yeah,
the
but
greatest.
imagine if you had like three of them, let's say Saka, a Son, and a Palma.
Who
I
do
mean,
you captain?
any one of them, and I feel like you'll be fine.
I think it's tricky because to me, Salah or Saka are players to have irrespective of fixtures,
Yep.
right? So
I'll put Palma in there.
probably Palmer, maybe Palmer, but I'm not so sure. I don't. I'm still watching Palmer, even though.
Really? You're still watching? Wow.
No, what I mean is like
What
if
is
Palmer is playing, like it's about the coaching, right? Like against Man U last season
yeah.
where he scored 3,
Hmm.
he scored 2 penalties. Like again, I understand his value and what
Yeah.
he brings, but I'm just saying for big games, will you compare his output
Only
to
what
like
only one other player has scored 4 goals, just like Haaland in a game. And besides, Palma even did that in a half of the game. So what are we talking about
yeah, but
here?
he didn't do anything the rest of the half, the rest of the game.
Again, what do you want
Again,
him
I'm not trying to debate, but you're a Chelsea fan. I'm not trying to debate Palmer with you. All I'm saying is, if you
Yeah,
tell me Salah has a fixtures of Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, and
yeah.
then Palmer has a fixture of Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal,
He still
I
has
think
a lot to
I'll go
do
with Salah.
to live up to the Salah. Of course, we're not comparing that.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Salah is FPL royalty. I mean, we all know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll take a while for Palma is in that category. But I feel like he's a
He's
season.
getting there. I think he's getting
Yeah.
to that point where
Mhm.
he didn't really do much in the Liverpool game. Again, if you're a good coach, you probably just take him out of the game most times, even though he had an opportunity to make an assist, but he chose to shoot. So yeah, he's going to get his chances. I think that's why
Unlike most of the other guys who like have to play midweek games, Palma is resting.
that's true. And that's a good point because that's another reason why I kept Salah,
Yeah,
because I felt like he didn't play in the international break. Because I looked at the Egypt schedule and I'm like, Salah didn't play, so he's rested and fresh.
yeah.
Again, I didn't think he was going to have 2 assists, but I just felt like he's going to give me more. And even if Saka had played, he played, he's coming back from an injury, he played midweek. He's like,
Too much.
it's just a bit too much. But yeah, I think Haaland is one to watch for his price. It's just to watch him in the next couple of games, honestly, because
If he blanks again, I can definitely see people selling him in game
I'm
week.
going to, yeah, definitely, because he's very, very pricey.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Jimenez. I mean, we already did, but yeah, I feel like he's going under the radar, and people should definitely be looking into.
I haven't really watched a full game of like except the one they played us, and they didn't really play against us. They played Moniz, I think. Um, so I don't know what their setup is like. I've seen the goals.
They're very attacking. That's what I can tell you. They're very attacking. If only Adama Traore had some sense, Fulham would be right up there.
They've been playing well. I think Silva is a good coach. Silva is also another one that's a very good coach as well. So,
Yeah. So, but
um, you
okay.
said potentially now on PK.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Pereira miss.
Yeah, but like
But the thing is,
I was
for me,
thinking about
he
this.
was on pens. I don't know why Pereira, who's never like scored only one PK in his life, took the ball and played.
Oh, he was on. So
He was on pens. Jiminez was on pens before
yeah,
Pereira took that. So
okay.
now it's a no-brainer. I think he's on pens again.
But I honestly, what I was thinking, I don't think if you miss a penalty, they just take it off you. That's what I was gonna say. But maybe
He doesn't even
he's
have the record. He doesn't have the. He has nothing. So why he even took it in the first place is beyond me. But
maybe yeah. So maybe that makes sense. Cool.
yeah, yeah. The biggest topic, I guess, besides Haaland, it's Arsenal assets. What are we thinking here?
Oh my God, the outside is not looking good. Arsenal, because I think Ateta made a comment that we're going to see a great game or whatever he said. I can't remember the quote exactly, but aside from Saka
Mhm.
and maybe Gabriel, I don't like. Arsenal has to prove it to me, right? Like the first 8 games, they haven't really played well, honestly. Even not just in the EPL, but also in the Champions League. Their games are just so boring and
Yeah,
drag.
just grinding out results of
Yeah,
late.
I'm like, oh, come on.
Even the games against Leicester, Southampton, it was always struggle.
Yeah, and I think could that be that's why they have an injury because it's just it feels like hard work, right? Like it's not flair, it's not open, it's not doesn't look fun. It just feels like hard work. Who knows? Maybe that's why they're again that's just my theory about injuries, but like, it just feels like hard work. So I mean, again, these fixtures I don't think they're all terrible fixtures.
Really?
I don't because
Which
again it's Arsenal,
which
right?
one
Like
is terrible? Which one?
I think.
I don't see them. Well, that's a bold statement. I was going to say I don't see them scoring against Liverpool because Liverpool are really good defensively. Like, what
Yeah,
else?
but they slip up some every now. Again, it's like are you going to take your chances? That's it.
Who is there to take them anyways in Arsenal without Saka? Let's say Saka is not. Who's there?
Martinelli did well the last time they played each other, right? So
Mm-mm.
he did play well, right? Yeah, and he's against Trent. Trent has been very sneakily good defensively
Who's
too.
there? Yeah, I think Slot is definitely doing something there. So
So
I don't like the Liverpool game. Newcastle are no pushovers. They'll definitely do what they did to City again. That's how they do when they play top
good
teams.
coach to good.
Chelsea, that's open. That's I mean, Chelsea has no defense, so I'm not going to be biased here. But
I see that as probably a 2-2 or 3-2.
exactly, very free scoring. So yeah, no surprise there.
Forest, I think Arsenal will beat
Yeah,
I do think so because again, it's like Forest are they're almost the opposite of Wolves. They're so lucky, like, and they have a good keeper. Let me not say luck. They have a very, very good goalkeeper,
yeah.
and I like Murillo,
Hmm.
but like, I don't see any world beaters in Forest. I think that they're overachieving right now, which is great for them. But I think Arsenal can easily take care of them. I don't think that at home in the Emirates, Odegaard and Saka back. Oh please, I don't even. And again, it's how it's like are you coming there to play free flowing football? You're going to get battered, right? Like so, it's like
Well, my take is if you have like free transfers or if you have like a wild card yet, if you haven't played your wild card yet, you could definitely sell your Arsenal assets and get them back in game week 13 because I feel like they're better assets, like Son, for instance, in the place of Saka, or even a
yeah.
Palmer. I don't even mind a Palmer in place of Saka.
I don't have Saka right now, so it's not a problem. I have I was thinking about selling Gabriel, but I think I'm going to do Trent instead. Um,
Why would you do Trent? Liverpool have the best defense in the league. Why would you do that?
yeah, they have the best defense, but the Trent has considered the last. 2-3 games, right? Straight.
No, probably the last one.
Against Wolves, they conceded. Against Chelsea, they
Yeah,
conceded.
just two.
What was the game before Chelsea?
They've only considered 3 goals all season. What are you talking about?
Against Forest, they conceded. So those
Yeah,
are the three games.
three
Yeah.
goals all season.
They could have considered against Man United, but it is
Could
what it
have.
is, or whatever. I think he's just so pricey, and considering that clean sheet are few and far between, and he I don't know. He has not been very attacking. Like, maybe the Chelsea game is clouding my judgment, but
Yeah,
he wasn't really attacking at that game at
didn't
all.
even cross the halfway line. That's why I don't.
Right. So I don't know if the coach is trying to, because
He
you know,
tried a different approach against Chelsea. So maybe I think that's
so
an outlier. So yeah,
and I
yeah,
think he's just a very expensive. It's like
true, true.
it's
But
very
then they're the best defense in the league, so I'll definitely give that to
Yeah,
them.
I can go down to Konate or Van Dijk or Robertson, because Robertson plays corners too. So you can go down to it. But I think Trent is someone I'm looking at to move, honestly, just to make room for money.
Yep.
All
Let's
right.
talk about differentials. What do you think about your boy Ganacho?
He frustrates me a lot, but because one game is like a world beater, and then the next is, again, it's all about the setup. That's again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but he could have had 2-3 goals against Brentford, because I don't even understand what they were doing. Honestly, it's like they're like a different team away from home.
Yeah,
It's crazy. So, and it's going to be interesting to see how Lopetegui sets up West Ham, because if he does what he did, if he did what or if he does what he did against Spurs,
yeah,
then Garnacho is going to eat, because that's where he thrives.
right.
Um, but he's one to watch for me. I think he's a good differential to have, but he and also Ten Hag rotates. Ahmad has not seen
Like
some
I
game
think he's
time.
played 90 minutes in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
So
Ahmad hasn't seen game time. Rashford was taken in the 60th, 65th minute today, so definitely my start. So what I envision next this weekend is Rashford, Hoyland, Ahmad. That's what I think was going to happen.
hmm,
That's
interesting.
what I think. Again, I might be wrong, but that's because if you 1990, but then Rashford didn't play 90, and then
Yeah.
Ahmad played like 5 minutes. So
It was someone I was kind of considering, but okay, maybe I should think about that. Who else here jumps out? I really like the looks of Wisa. Yeah, he was.
honestly, the one that jumps out to me, because we talked about Jiminez, is
Yeah,
Kulusevski, because I was going to bring him in. I know it's always good 2020 vision looking back. But honestly, like when I was looking, because at the start of last week I had three transfers.
yeah.
Okay? What I wanted to do was use the three. I was going to do Trent to Outnori,
Mm-hmm.
right? ESR to somebody, and then Harvard to um Haaland,
Okay.
right? But then I'm like, okay, I have to move Saka. The two people I was considering was Rogers and Kulichevsky, because I knew that everybody was leaning towards Johnson, so I wanted to just do something different.
Okay.
And that's the person that, and he's always seemed to be the guy that steps up for Spurs.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
always
playing
in
in this
90
kind
minutes.
of
Like they even
yeah,
took
he's not playing in
Madison
this kind of
in the
free
front row.
role.
Yeah, they
Sorry,
took up Madison. They took up Madison at halftime, and
yeah.
he was still there 90 minutes.
He's
So
not playing this kind of free role. He has more legs than Madison. Madison doesn't really run as much,
yeah,
and he doesn't really sit on the wing. He's
he's
moving
everywhere.
around. He's everywhere. It's kind of like their own version of Palmer, if you will, to a lesser extent. But I think of these people, or of these differentials,
Yeah,
he's the one I think to consider, considering their fixtures as well. And then Son is back; he can get
yep.
an assist here or there. It kind of opens up for him. I think if you want me to rank them, I'll go Kulichevsky, Garnacho, Jimenez, Wisa, and Savio.
Wow, Savio last.
Yeah,
I feel like Savio is a spicy pick.
He is, but I feel like Pep is just turning him into another Grealish because he doesn't really. He
Pep
doesn't.
likes, I noticed Pep likes his wingers to maintain the width.
Yeah, so Myers was one that just did what he liked.
Yeah,
Like, Myers was just doing whatever.
Pep
But
doesn't like that. So he
I
wants,
thought he was going to be like Myers, but he's not.
yeah.
It's
But
kind of
then
changed the way he plays.
against Southampton,
Honestly, if
if I,
Doku was available,
yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god, that
that would
would
have,
have been a great one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been a great shout. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about our boss teams for this week. I mean, I haven't done any transfers yet because I'm still undecided on what to do. I currently have Trent benched. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly.
I don't think that's bad. I don't think it's
But
bad.
the only reason why I benched him is I feel like there'll be goals in this game, right?
So
But
you think Gabriel is going to score where Van Dijk
then we
is?
know what I don't know, but we know how good Gabriel is on corners, right?
Yeah, but they have Konate and Van Dijk.
But Trent hasn't been attacking of late. That's the problem. He's just very
No,
reserved, and I feel like he will take the same role again, very reserved. So
I think that's where I love Klopp, like the next Liverpool fan, but like I think that's where Klopp um kind of let Liverpool down because he just kept playing this high tempo. Every game was the same to him, right? Like,
yep.
and what I've noticed with Slot is he treats
More
every game
pragmatic in his
individually.
approach. Yeah,
Individual games, he coaches. He actually coaches every game, individual, which is
yeah.
kind of nice. And I think Maresca does the same thing too. Um,
See,
I don't.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
could.
see Saka is still on your team, by the way. So
I'm torn. On one hand, I want Foden. On another hand, I want Palmer,
we didn't even talk about Foden. That's crazy.
and I just want one FT. I have just one free transfer,
Oh,
so
you have one.
yeah,
Oh,
that's I'm just
I have two. Wow,
lucky.
easy.
And there's Son too, but then why I don't want to go for Son is I already have Johnson. So
Oh man, you did the Johnson thing.
yeah, so I don't know. For
Christ.
now, it's between Palmer and Foden, but Pep just scares me honestly.
I think if you bring in Palmer, if he doesn't do anything this week, you're just gonna suck it up because that's
Yeah,
a long
if
that's
I
a
keep
long
Palmer,
term.
he's a
Palmer is more of a long term hold than
yeah,
Foden to me
yeah,
at least.
yeah. But playing the fixture, Foden looks like the peak for this game week, but I don't know if I have it in me to do it. Well, I could just leave Saka there, but and look at Havertz. Each time I look at Havertz, I'm just pissed. just
Yeah, I think Havertz was. I don't know who you sold for Haaland. I can't remember who you sold for Haaland last week, but
Watkins, I told Watkins for Haaland.
no, I think Havertz was the move. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
did. I
I
don't
couldn't
know.
afford him if I had done. Watkins was close. Watkins is like 9 point something. Yeah,
Oh,
I see
so that
Havertz.
means you have zero money in the bank.
I have about I think 0.8
Oh,
ish. Yeah, so I can definitely do a Saka to Palmer, and I could downgrade Havertz to maybe a Jiminez. Yeah, but that's taking a hit, and I really don't want to take a hit, so I don't know.
yeah.
Or I could just do Saka to Palmer or a Foden and rest, I
If you
guess.
put in Foden, that means you have three Man City players.
Yeah,
You already have three Arsenal, so it's like
yeah. But I really need to get off Arsenal assets because I feel like this run is not the better assets out there. So, but anyways, I'll just read out my team
I think
for
Saka to Palmer is a move. I mean,
yeah
Foden if you want a differential, but again, Foden might just not start. I really like.
to
It's
risk.
one of those games where the other on the other side of it's like who do they have, right? If
Mhm.
Foden doesn't start, who's going to start?
Yeah, but they
You have
have Indo and
Jimenez.
Bernardo Silva in the middle, and Nunes started in the Champions League game. I don't think he starts again, but he played really well. So who
I think
knows?
there's a fine player there, to be honest. I know everybody's,
Yeah, I don't know.
is against Pep.
Then it's against Southampton, so maybe Pep decides to give him a run there. So Yeah, it's a it's a tricky one.
I don't trust that game. I don't know. Is it a 7:30 kickoff? If I can wait for leaks.
What leaks? Deadline is on Friday.
Oh,
Well,
it's tomorrow. Oh shoot! I forgot it's tomorrow. Oh my days.
deadline is on Friday, so you have to make your transfers early enough. Wait, who's first? Oh, Leicester Forest.
Worst.
Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah. I hope Wood scores tomorrow.
I
But
have bad.
Leicester is so dangerous. That's the problem.
I hope bad scores.
Because I don't like first game. I like to be waiting
Right.
and to have the earliest game. Oh my god.
Well, talk us through your own team. What are you thinking?
Honestly, I want to move off Trent or Gabriel, one of those two, and bring in Palmer. So,
So,
so, so, so I have two subs, so I don't have enough to bring in Palmer.
yeah. So
What
what
I
do you?
can do is to sell Salah for Palmer, and then
Well, I wouldn't sell Salah.
yeah, but it's like I don't.
I wouldn't sell Salah, honestly. Salah is a big game player. I want to sell him. Nope, I
Yeah, but the
wouldn't.
other fixtures though, that's the problem, right?
Salah plays 90 minutes every game.
Yeah, but I understand, but I'm saying the other fixtures, and Arsenal is a drag. Arsenal game is just going to be a drag. It's not going to be high flying, high scoring, or whatever. Right? In my score or have an assist, that's fine. But like, is that enough? For 12 million, and I think I don't know if you showed. Let me look at. Let me quickly look at their fixtures. Their fixture run.
Arsenal? Of
No, Liverpool. So they have Brighton next, Aston Villa, Southampton, and then they have Man City, Newcastle.
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. I think you can sell even the Man City. Yeah.
City always concedes, so. But I wouldn't.
Honestly, I think of going Trent to like a very, very cheap defender.
Ignore is your shout, then. Everyone's going to for Ignore, so.
Yeah, and then bring in. I don't know if I have enough for
I don't
Palmer.
think that would be enough for
Am I bringing Foden?
Semenyo to Palma. I don't think
Am I
that's.
bringing Foden? Because Foden is 9
It
points.
might be. Why not try? Try. You could just Trent to Ignore, then Semenyo to Palma. Does that give you enough funds?
It's not. I have 0.00. I don't. I'm one of those guys that probably has like 99, 99, 99 million, right? Because I made my subs at the wrongest time or whatever, or I made my transfers at the wrongest time.
Interesting.
Because I don't think I'm going to play Trent this week. I think I'll go with Mikolenko. But then you said Fulham it's very attacking, which
Yep.
is. But then they are home, so I don't know.
Hmm.
Everton is at home.
And Everton have what's that guy United wanted to buy?
What's his name?
They have him back.
Brandwaite.
Yeah, Brantwaite. Yeah,
Yeah, Brandwaite.
back. So I think
I
they're.
might roll. I think I might roll a transfer. I think it's one of those weeks where it's like I don't pursue points. Just
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens. I might roll. Just
Smith Rowe is giving you a 1 pointer again, right?
sorry.
Smith Rowe is giving you a 1 pointer again.
That's the guy I want to sell, honestly, because I don't think I haven't. I'm not convinced, right? Like I think he might have a run in the middle of the season, but I think right now, even the coach is even not as convinced. The coach is on my side in that one, but I think I might roll. If I don't roll, I would go with yeah, I might sell Salah. I think if I don't roll, I might sell Salah. Sorry, yeah, I think so.
So Salah for Palma.
Yes, because I think the fixture round for Palmer.
Palma has great fixtures till like the next.
Yeah.
Yeah. His fixtures are amazing till I think game week. Let me see.
So Palmer has Newcastle, Man
Like in
U.
week 2022. Amazing run of fixtures. So
Damn. But the first three are tricky.
the first three are not tricky, in my opinion.
Newcastle, Man U, Arsenal.
I can see him scoring against Newcastle. I can see him scoring against United. I can see him scoring against Arsenal. So
It's tough.
I don't see any. There's nothing.
Oh my days! I think I might roll.
I don't see those three as they're
Yeah,
not.
the other person I'm also looking at is Solanke. I think.
That guy was a terrible buy in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, he scored against Man U, very fluky goal, but it is what it is.
The role
Let
is
me, I might do.
yeah.
Let me do Solanke to Jiminez, and then do I have enough to bring in
Foden.
who like Smith Rowe for Smith Rowe has good fixtures too. Crazy.
You can leave Smith Rowe and do some menu to Foden. That should be enough.
It's not gonna work. It's not enough.
No?
Oh no, I can bring in Foden.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Or maybe go cheaper than
So
Jiminez.
no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. No.
What of the Wolves striker, Brand
So
Last?
that'll be 3 subs, right? So I don't have 3, I have 2 subs. So
Oh, okay.
we should have 3 subs. I might roll. I think I'll just I think I've had a good week,
Yes.
I don't know how far I can drop, but I think I might just be like, whatever, man, just do it. Just roll. Don't pursue points. Folding. I know people they're gonna bring Folding in for sure. A lot of people.
Yep. And the main one. I mean, I know you're captain in Haaland, but you triple captain in him.
I got for those reasons I said earlier on the call. He's on total points with Palmer too. That's crazy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like you people keep underrating Palmer. Palmer is a brilliant asset.
I don't know why Son. I think Son. Crystal Palace away is a tough game.
No, it's not. No.
I'm telling you, it is. Man U has played there. Liverpool has played there.
You watch them against Forest. Nah.
I think they're one of those teams that they don't concede a lot, but they concede chances.
Yeah. And Spurs are quite clinical. We know Son. Spurs are very clinical. I
think some of my reservations, like at some point, some of these teams have to turn it around. Like Wolves, like Crystal Palace. The coach, like they're going to sack those coaches. They're on the hot seat. Like Glasner is on the hot seat, right? Like at some point they have to start turning around. Except they're just going to get relegated, and I don't think Crystal Palace will get relegated. So I think, it's one of those games where fine, and also they do play high line, so for what it's worth, I don't think Crystal Palace has played a team that plays a high line this year. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I think that one is tricky. I think that the 2 is, to me, the 2 is Haaland
Palmer.
Yeah.
You're not feeling spicy for them?
No, I think it's a popular pick right now. It's the hip start pick. It's like, even when Foden had played this year, okay, all right. I haven't really seen enough. Last year he was, I don't want to say lucky because people are going to come for me, but I think he was almost anything he touches turned to gold last year, right? So,
but he hasn't even gotten the minutes this season. That's the problem. Pep has just been, I don't know, Pep.
It's one of those things where you like, Southampton. What if Southampton comes and is just like,
you can't do shit, please. Southampton can't do shit.
What if Southampton comes and like, I think what's going to happen, they might score first and then get battered like 5-1 or something.
Exactly. So Southampton can do shit. Okay. Well, I'm still 50-50 on the triple captaincy.
Just do it at the end of the year, bro. Do it like me.
Well, that's no guarantee. I remember last season where
it's not a guarantee too.
People tried to do it with Isak and he blanked. But
did I do it at the end of the year?
I think you did, yeah. Double game week and he blanked. So it's really not
tricky one, but I think waiting at the end of the year because
Then there'll be a lot of fixtures, and you probably know how City will be in those because they probably go all the way in most competitions. Now, just
I'll wait. I think I'll wait for
do it and
the
get it out of the way. That's
against
what I'm thinking.
them. I think I might do a random week maybe to see if I can win that game week. So I think that might be what I'll do, because I think some people did try to do that. I think AB just
Yeah,
didn't work out. I think Ezekiel did that in the first week, or Paro. I think one of those two people.
yeah,
Paro won the first game week and he was number 2 for the first 2
yep.
weeks of the season and just dropped.
I
Right.
mean,
So I think that's kind of where my head is at. I don't see triple captain as a great cheap, honestly.
yeah, I always waste it, so I don't care. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I think with that we've come to the end of the show. Thanks for coming again. Really appreciate
No problem. I think this was one of the better ones we did.
because I went easy on you.
Well, last year I was doing terribly. So I was just spewing rubbish, I think. But I think honestly, I think this was one of the better ones, and it was a good conversation for sure.
Okay, yeah. So for our listeners, here's wishing you guys green arrows. Remember to follow us, like, subscribe, rate us, and we'll see you next game week. Cheers, guys.
All right.
See ya.